Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by, and this is your place to go to today, especially if you're on Long Island, Omni True Value Hardware, the superstore at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, right in southwest Suffolk County, north of the Sunrise Highway and the Southern State, and south of the LIE in case you have to bring your truck to get there. They've got salt and tons of it. And also, if you need to replace anything like a snowblower, they've got them in stock. Mag ice pellets and flakes and Pelledo and spreaders, shovels, uh, de-icing, whatever you need. And here's your rock salt, and they are the largest supplier of rock salt anywhere in the New York, New Jersey tri-state area at the lowest prices around. So head over to Omni. Again, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon while you still have time before the heavy snow hits later tonight into tomorrow. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. Now, we've got some snow going on today. Actually, it's a little unusual here that we're seeing this, but we have this dying Arctic front that's moving through. And plus, the atmosphere is getting primed with all the energy from what's going to be a developing major ocean storm that will pass to our east. So we're getting light snows. And in some of the greens that you see on the radar, and this radar shot is as of 10 a.m. this morning, some of the greens that you're seeing, that snow in those areas is actually coming down rather steadily. So don't be surprised if we put down anywhere from a coating to maybe an inch or a little bit more, because we're going to be dealing with all this spotty stuff all day. And then we're going to be watching what's going on to the south, where the radar will start filling in, and it's already beginning to fill in offshore. You're seeing some of those heavier showers develop. So that is the beginnings of this storm that is developing. Now, WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, folks, this is their latest probability forecast, and they issued this actually right around 9, a little after 9 this morning. So they were able to look at all the overnight models, and this is their best idea of who's going to get the heavier snows. And I'm going to focus on the not the dark blue necessarily. That's 40%. The next level up, which is the slightly lighter blue, and that is a 50% probability of at least 12. And it goes down into southeastern Delaware, through New Jersey, and actually that line extends almost to Trenton in western Jersey, runs to just west of New York City, and then on up through western Connecticut, hitting the border in central Massachusetts, and on up north and east. The 70%, the 80% is touching the south shore of Long Island, and also 80% or higher from eastern Rhode Island to southeastern New England out at the Cape, where we're looking at probabilities of over 90% for at least a foot of snow. Now, I just want to also mention again the rather tight view sharpness here, the sharpness of the probability of 12, and it goes down. That also actually reflects the sharp cutoff line that is going to exist with this particular storm. And it's something that we've been focusing on. We have to exercise some caution. You're going to go from heavy snow to far less to zero over a relatively short distance. Now, I moved this down to the probability for at least 4. And you'll notice on this one that the 80% area, which is in that salmon color, goes west of Trenton, west of Philadelphia, and then starts to drop off. We've seen throughout the overnight guidance that that western edge has pushed further to the west, which is why the probabilities for the higher snow amounts have increased further to the east. So just depending on where you are, of course, where your location is, again, if you're in that area, it's a westernmost New Jersey and points west. Just got to watch where that western edge of the heavy snow gets. I think it's a fairly good bet that we're going to see these numbers hit with regards to snowfall totals. And by the way, there have been a number, we continue to see, those of you who look at these models online and you see these snow forecast maps, some of the numbers that they produce are in the ridiculous double digits. I have no way of knowing who's going to get the max amounts. That just is it's impossible. Plus, I just don't have I can't put down a map that's got a 30-inch number on it. I just can't do it. The idea is, look, if you get a foot of snow or more, it's a lot. And if you wind up with a bigger number, that's just part of the process here, folks. It's one thing to be maybe a little bit, uh, let's say, upset. I don't know. Snow weenies get upset if you're predicting 12 and you wind up with three. But it's kind of silly in my view if someone's predicting 10 and you wind up with 15 or more and you complain because you got an extra extra inches and I didn't give you the exact amount. It doesn't work that way, okay? So this is my final cold forecast that I made last night at 10 o'clock. I have a 10-inch line drawn inland in coastal New Jersey. So if you're on the New Jersey shore, you could expect every bit of 10 to 15. I drew a 15-inch line across western Long Island. So if you're in Suffolk County, 15 might be a good number. Maybe some places a bit more. And southeastern Connecticut and into southeastern Massachusetts, 15 plus. I think if there's going to be some big numbers, you'll probably see it on the Cape, back over into eastern Rhode Island, maybe even into southeastern Connecticut and easternmost Long Island, depending on how this tracks. The 4-inch line, the 4-inch line runs from just north of Poughkeepsie to the northwest New Jersey, and then points south to about Allentown. And then we've got a 6-inch line that's west of Philadelphia and Wilmington, and the 8-inch line west of New York City and continuing down into southwest Jersey. So if you're in New York City or nearby, into Yonkers, down at the Staten Island, western Monmouth County, for example, that's where I'm thinking 8 to 10. And, of course, follow the map further south. And, by the way, these maps are all posted on my website, meteorologistjoechaffee.com, or if you're a Patreon member, you know you can go to patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Chaffee. I'm not going to really be changing my forecast very much unless I see something really, really, really radical. I'm going to pretty much stay with the way things are. So we're at the point now where forecasters will, they'll be looking at the guidance. I'll look at it, but I'm going to be paying far more attention to the satellite, the radar, and the observations. This is the latest NAM run, which last night's the overnight runs of the NAM gave some absolutely ridiculously high precipitation and snow amounts. The day run today has gotten a little bit more reasonable. We have the deepening storm, and if you've been following this all along, we've been talking about the fact that we're dealing with this developing upper air storm and a low that's going to form underneath it. That's why you see that sort of comma shape that goes back to the coast. And it's because of that upper low forming that we're seeing the snow shield go so far to the west. And the models always seem to have trouble with this because they try to form a surface low under that upper low, and the NAM does that. But you also see that low that's out to the east. And sometimes the energy from that upper low winds up going more to the coastal low than the one behind it, and that would affect snow amounts and make them lower. And I think that's what the models are still kind of struggling with all of this. That's why at this point we know that struggle is going to continue regardless. And that's why here it's far more important that we'll just watch the satellite and we'll watch the radar. So the back edge gets pretty far west. The darker blues, moderate to heavy snow. This is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Now, at this time also, one other very important factor that's going to come into snow amounts is that northerly wind of very cold air that's going to be draining southward. So the snow ratios, where we talk about an inch of liquid precipitation, the equivalent of an inch of the liquid precipitation, rain, is equal to 10 inches of snow, roughly. That's a 10 to 1 ratio. But when you get this very cold air, the snow becomes drier and fluffier, so you wind up with ratios that could be 12 to 1 or even 15 to 1. So we're going to see those ratios actually go up tomorrow because our temperatures are going to be falling through the 20s. And by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I would not at all be surprised to see temperatures that are going to be down in many areas in the low 20s and even in the upper teens. Plus, let's throw in very strong northerly winds that are going to be gusting up to 40 and even 50 miles an hour, especially near the coast. So that's going to create near blizzard conditions. This is at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You can see where the back edge is. So the further east, if the low is a little further east, that back edge is going to come a little faster, and that's going to impact snow amounts, especially in western areas. And then this is at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, with the back edge just leaving New York City. And of course, while all this is going on, southeastern New England is getting clobbered by that really dark blue heavy snow. Those are snow rates probably at 2 or 3 inches an hour in that very, very dark blue. Also, we don't want to ignore points to the south. You can see the snow shield going down to Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. I think the heaviest snow is going to probably be in southern Delaware and in that area just south of the Delaware-Maryland border on the Delmarva Peninsula. And then amounts there, too, will cut down much less. And the snow extends down into southeastern Virginia and into northeastern North Carolina. So we'll move the storm along. It kind of coils around there because of that surface upper-low relationship and heads on up to the northeast. This is at, again, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then by 4 o'clock, we're looking at the back edge pushing into Long Island. And then by 7 o'clock, it's done there. And in New England, it's done in Boston, according to this, shortly after 7 o'clock. So it's a little bit faster pulling out, coming in a little bit faster, but pulling out a little bit faster. The duration time is going to be the same. So we're dealing with that lighter snow today. And then, of course, the steadier snow comes in tonight, probably after 7 o'clock. And we're going to get into it. I think the worst of it is going to be probably from, say, midnight on up to 12 noon or early afternoon tomorrow. Blizzard warnings up for southeastern Massachusetts. Back into eastern Rhode Island. And then also down in the coastal counties in southern Rhode Island at the southeastern Connecticut. We now have a blizzard warning up for Suffolk County. So for Long Island, Suffolk County under a blizzard warning. Winter storm warnings for everybody else in Connecticut. The lower Hudson Valley down into northern New Jersey, except the northwestern counties, and also when we get to Orange and Sullivan County in a winter weather advisory, Dutchess County in a winter weather advisory. Again, this is where the amounts are going to be far less. You've got the counties to the west of the New Jersey-Pennsylvania line, including Philadelphia, in a winter storm warning. Blizzard warnings for the coastal counties of New Jersey. Blizzard warning up now for southern Delaware, and the winter storm warnings for the Delmarva Peninsula and on down into southeastern Virginia. So we'll keep you updated throughout during the day. And, of course, tonight we don't normally have a Joe and Joe weather show on Friday, but we are going to have a Joe and Joe weather show tonight. And that's going to be at 7:30 Eastern Time. Omni True Value Hardware, your place to go to get whatever you need to get through this winter storm. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the website, is the telephone number. It's been a long week, folks. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. So watch for updates throughout the day. They're posted on Facebook. They're posted on Twitter. They're posted on YouTube. And again, there will be a Joe and Joe weather show tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. So we'll see you then.